This is the bad boy Joey Janela, and you're watching Dre 41.
Going to be a bit different. We're going to talk a little bit about, not a little bit, a whole bunch about wrestling video games, because we haven't even spoken about that, which is strange. Like,
right,
have all these episodes that we've done and we have not spoke about like wrestling video games that we played or that ones that we like. Well, now we're not going to get into our favorite just yet. Let's go into abstract video games. Have anybody played any abstract video games that you can remember?
I don't know what console it was for. It probably was either Nintendo, Super Nintendo, or Sega, but it was a wrestling video game. It was like you had all these strange characters. You could be like the green monster from the lagoon. You could be like all these weird characters, and I forget what it was. But it was a wrestling video game from probably when I was in like high single digits, maybe just getting into my double digits, and it was for one of those consoles where it was wrestling, but it was not licensed. It didn't have any. And
I'm trying. A ring?
Yeah, it was in a ring. Yeah.
And it was for Super Nintendo.
Can you give me my phone real quick? Okay. I'm gonna Google it. I'm gonna see if I can figure out.
Because I know they have like the ones that's kind of like the ones that was made in Japan.
Might have been called like All Star Wrestling or something like that, or
All Star Wrestling on.
I don't know.
All Star.
I could be lying about stuff right now.
All right, let me see. All Star Wrestling on Super NES. I don't know. What? No, definitely wasn't. Nope, definitely wasn't. Wait a minute. Hold on. Nope, that's Lion King. So yeah. Yeah, you can search for that. Ken, what about you?
I do not. I can't think of any abstract ones that I've played.
Wait, are we
I'm
recording?
pretty sure. Huh?
Right now we're recording?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
No, it's fine. You can keep looking. I mean.
Oh, okay.
It's fine. We're just using the audio. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Because I'm have the games on the screen. No need to worry about it. I'll edit it. All that great stuff. But no, Ken, you were saying.
No, I can't remember any abstracts right offhand. It might be old age kicking in, but I can't. I know I've played a couple, but I just can't. I can't think of the names.
All right, so I'll jump in for myself. All right, so one of these I did play. The other one I seen, and I think I'm gonna buy it if I can find it, because it's a rare one. So the first one I'm gonna say is Power Move Pro Wrestling. That one is ridiculous. It was on the PlayStation 1. It was, allegedly, the first 3D wrestling game on the PlayStation. And it was a port of the New Japan Token-Rich Suden series. And basically, it's just basically like a generic Americanized version of New Japan. So instead of like the lion, it's a bulldog in the middle of the ring. Nobody, has any of you played that?
No.
Oh,
I found a wrestling game I played on Nintendo that's different. It's called Tag Team Wrestling, but that's different than what I was talking about.
Was that like under WWE or WWF?
No, it's just generic guys, yeah.
Okay, so with Power Move Pro Wrestling, the one thing that the gameplay is trash. I'm gonna put it out. The gameplay is not great at all. I played the game like not too long ago. It's not great. The one aspect of the game that is amazing are the intros for the wrestlers. Oh my goodness, it is amazing. I mean, I'm gonna have to cut the video into it so you guys can like see like different type of intros that they have. It's ridiculous.
No time limit. In the blue corner, at 6'2", 257 pounds, he's the guy who gets all the ladies and some of the men. Lance Dula.
I mean, it's a bare bones game. Once again, it's basically a New Japan game, literally just reskinned with generic characters. So it has like the Commandant, or El Temblor, or just weird names. Just weird names like Lance, Ogre. Just dumb names, literally. And it's like the one thing that I would say that it has that other wrestling games don't is you can change the camera angles. That's the only thing that it has. And this came out back in 95, 96. And it literally had camera angles. And the only way to get your finisher is if you get beat up. That's the only way. If you're working,
you gotta get worked over during the match, and then
but it's dumb because it's like you can't. There's no power bar, so you can't tell where your energy is, like if you can kick out or not. There's no way for it to show if the fan. The only way you can see the fans are with you is your name will blink, like it will light up. The game is ridiculous, completely ridiculous. But no, enough of that one. First wrestling game that you guys played.
Oh man, probably the Wrestlemania one from the Nintendo, the like 8-bit one from back in the day. We had like 5 wrestlers. It had like Hogan, DiBiase, Andre, Bam Bam, and Savage maybe.
Ooh, damn, you took it back.
That was the first one. Like I'm trying to think of the first one I ever played, and that would have been it. But it was an awful game. But the first ones I remember playing and actually having fun with was like Royal Rumble or Monday Night Raw for Super NES or Sega.
Okay, I played that one.
That was the first ones I actually played and thought, oh, this is fun.
Yeah,
there was a Super WrestleMania for the Super Nintendo, wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
It had Hogan and Jake the Snake and DiBiase. I remember that one. I know I played that one.
Yeah, I played those. As far as like the first one, I would have to say the first wrestling game I remember maybe had to have been WWF Royal Rumble for the Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
I think that was the first one I remember. It had the model in it.
Yep.
The narcissist.
It had a decent roster, man, for a game at that time. Like it had a good amount of people in it.
Yep.
Yep.
What else? Who else? Undertaker. I think it had Savage. Yeah.
And the updated version of that was the Monday Night Raw game. It was pretty much the same gameplay, but it was called like WWF Raw or WWF Monday Night Raw.
Yes, and that's the one that had like 1, 2, 3 Kid, Luna Vachon,
yes,
Bigelow.
Yeah.
And they had like some wild finishers, like moves they never really did.
Right.
Like, Paul Hart would do like a helicopter spin.
Yes.
Like with his arms out, knock everyone down. Yoko would like jump up and hit the ground and people will fall.
Yeah.
Very strange game. Very strange game. Like they had like a Bedlam mode where like you can like hit people with buckets.
Yeah.
Like, you had the slot bucket from like, it's so weird because it's like the slot bucket came from the Godwins, but they weren't in the game.
Right.
And it was like you hit them with the slot bucket, you hit them with a steel chair, and it folds when you hit them.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, and another great feature, I remember it, where you hit the ref so many times, he was like, I'm done, I'm out of here. And the referee would leave, and the match would be like a knockout only match.
Oh, man.
I don't remember.
I don't even remember that.
Yes. Me and my boys played that game heavy back in the day.
The Steel Cage Challenge. That's the one I couldn't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, that game I don't think I played.
Yeah.
That one's old. I actually so they did like a remake thing where it's a plug and play to your TV now.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, I remember seeing that.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that.
This was the first one that I played. It was on the regular Nintendo.
Yep.
Damn.
Yep.
That's crazy. Yeah, I never played any wrestling games on the Nintendo. That looked tough. I never played none of those. I remember my early wrestling games as a,
Oh, dude, how? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you were saying.
I just it wasn't on consoles, but I'm sure we all played it. WrestleFest, the arcade game. Did you ever go to an arcade as a kid
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't like it.
Oh, I'm not saying that it was a great game. I'm saying that was one of my first wrestling games that I remember too, is that as well.
No, it was just difficult. Like, I felt like the game wasn't meant for you to beat it, and that's why I didn't like it. It looked good.
Well, that's why it was in the arcade, because back in the arcade,
it's trying to get the money.
You weren't supposed to beat any of the games. You were supposed to waste your money, and that one sure did do it.
Yep.
Yeah, it did. I hated that because I was like, I didn't know how to play it. Like I didn't know how to tag it. Well, I was too young to really know how to play it. So it was just like, I enjoy it now. Like I appreciate it now, especially if I have cheats on. But I'm telling you, if I had to play it straight up, I'm losing.
Yeah.
I'm losing. Like, there's another wrestling game that was arcade style, a 3-count bout. Have you guys heard of that?
I feel that sounds familiar to me.
All right, so if
it's not a licensed one, right? It's generic guys.
Yes, but you can tell who they are.
Right.
If you wanted to play it, it's actually on the Xbox Marketplace. It's a Neo Geo classic.
Okay.
Difficult. I could literally only get to the second stage. First one, you're in the ring. Second one, it's a parking lot brawl. And it's difficult as hell. Oh my goodness, like just doing moves. The grappling system is tricky. Like the game is just hard. It's just a hard, difficult wrestling game that looks good. And it's like 32-bit. So it's like, you know, it got the pixel graphics, which I definitely enjoy, but it's one of the harder wrestling games. Definitely not a Saturday Night Slam Master. You know, so but there's a lot of them. Like there's something I definitely want to get. I feel like the only way I can find them is like searching online and just downloading them for free, which it is what it is. I mean, I got a custom PC. I'll do it. What about y'all, like jumping from like the Sega Genesis to like the PlayStation? And don't give me the same ones that everybody else does, but for PlayStation 1, what were your top wrestling games?
The ones I played the most were probably like WWF Attitude or Warzone, you know. I didn't even really get into SmackDown 1, which was on the PlayStation 1. I kind of jumped right into Know Your Role and then Just Bring It. But I guess when I'm thinking of PlayStation for wrestling games, I'm thinking the acclaimed ones that were absolutely horrible gameplay.
No, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. No slander. Don't disrespect Attitude. Attitude was a great game.
I was, but like the amount of buttons you need to press to do a single move was a little extravagant.
No, see, you basing that off of wrestling games right now. Back in the day, you learned it. So you can't use that.
Putting in contra codes to pull off a body slam, man.
The one thing I didn't like about that though is you'd have to pause and look at the move menu and pause and look at the move menu. And I feel like that would take you out of the immersion of the match in the game and it would distract you. I mean, eventually, if you mained a couple guys and you could remember their move set, that's cool. But if you wanted to play as somebody you never played before, it kind of took you out of that gameplay. And I loved it because of the characters that were in it. I loved it at the time. I thought the game looked great for a PlayStation 1 game. I loved the feel of it. I loved that Edge and Christian actually came out from the crowd. I thought that was dope.
Wait a minute, for which game?
Attitude.
No, they didn't.
Are you sure? I'm pretty sure they did.
YouTube, here we come.
I did a walkthrough. I don't remember seeing them come out the crowd.
Maybe Himalaya. I don't know. Ken's gonna find out right now.
No,
sure is.
So here's my thought process on the PlayStation 1, right? Attitude was my favorite.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody say. It's because I played Tekken. And Tekken, you know how many inputs you had to do combinations? Come on now, stop it. You're used to it. All right, that's all we had at the time. So if you play Warzone and you sitting there disrespecting Attitude, you're crazy. That's one. I'm just putting it out there. Number 2 has to be Mayhem, WCW Mayhem.
Oh, shoot.
I know people are going to sit there and trip on it and say, what? You bugging. WCW was a different company where you got to use different wrestlers that you didn't get to use in 3D on the PlayStation. That was the best WCW game on the PlayStation, point blank. Thunder and Nitro was trash. Now, I know people are going to sit there and say, what about WCW versus the World? Well, that had generic roster in it. And that was just a port of a Japanese game, so that doesn't count. I'm talking about built as a WCW game.
Yeah.
A lot of those for the N60. I mean, let's be honest. We got WCW versus the World. and Revenge, right? Those
Oh,
were
Revenge was one of my favorites.
You done moved up to the
but we're not talking about that yet.
64,
That's Nintendo, huh?
I was about to say you done moved up to the 64.
I know
man.
we're not gonna do that. We talking about PlayStation. We're gonna stick with PlayStation. So that's 2. So I got Attitude and Mayhem, and I would have to say the third one. On PlayStation 1, I know a lot of people will have to sit there and say SmackDown 1, and honestly, I kind of want to, but because, like I said, I like diversity in using rosters that weren't available on other games, I will have to say ECW Anarchy Rules. Number
You
one,
suck because that was mine.
they simplified the moves. They simplified the moves, so it was only like one button and like a face button that you had to press to do moves.
Yeah.
But it was hard as hell to unlock so many people. They made you do so much, and it took so much memory card space. That's my 3 for PlayStation. Who's next?
Can't you good?
Well, I started. I think God, the first game that I had, I got it from Sam's Club, and it was ECW Anarchy Rules, and that was before That was before I got Attitude or anything else.
Wait a minute. So you got Anarchy Rules before you played Attitude?
Yep.
That's wild.
Yeah, absolutely.
You must have hated Attitude then.
Huh?
You must have hated Attitude.
No, I didn't hate Attitude. I just got it later. Like, I wanted to be different because everybody at the time was talking about, oh, Attitude. I was like, yeah, but I watch ECW on channel 15 with blurred ass lines at 2 o'clock in the morning. I want to, they got a whole game out. I'm about to give them a little try. And good Lord, I played that one entirely too much. Like, to the point to where I had a little notebook next to me and I just started doing exhibition mode, writing down my own champions and everything. Yeah, I had it all going on with that. And then is when I got into Attitude.
Mm-hmm. But is that your second?
Yeah, that would be my second because I put a lot of time into that one too. And then I guess my cop out would probably be the first SmackDown because that's what I played that one a lot, but I did not play it as much as the other 2. But thinking back to my PlayStation 1 days, it did get some burn, but there's a special place in my heart for Anarchy Rules.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Sean, what you got for your 3?
Probably the one I played the most for the PlayStation was the Attitude, and then followed up by that would have been Warzone.
Doing the Emelina
like this.
Yes. Would have been probably Warzone and then SmackDown 1. But the one thing I remember about Warzone is, do you remember that Ahmed Johnson promo?
Oh, you know, we found out, right? How to watch all the videos. It's literally you press all of the face buttons, the directional buttons, L1, R1, L2, R2, L1, R1, L1, R2. You press them at the same time, and it will unlock all the FMVs, and you can watch.
Oh my god! But yeah, I don't know. I know I definitely enjoyed Attitude more than I did Warzone. And then as SmackDown came around, I think I played that one a little bit more than Warzone. But I didn't play Anarchy Rules until the next generation of console, and I went back and played it on PlayStation because I became an ECW fan. I wasn't one of the originals. You know what I mean? I kind of learned about it a little bit later in the game.
Okay. So that's your 3 there?
Yeah.
Okay. So all right. So now we jump from the PlayStation and we go to the notorious N64, and I'm gonna go last. I'll go last because mine's gonna be completely different. Who wants to go first?
I know yours is gonna be different. You all Japanned out over there. So.
Yeah.
All right, I'll start with this. So on the N64, so that was the first console I bought on my own.
Huh?
You bought the Nintendo 64 on your own?
What were you selling on the
understand
school
how
grounds?
much grass I was mowing in DC?
Mowing or selling?
Well, we're canceled. No, I was actually mowing grass. And I got enough for the 64. And the first one that holds the place in my heart is Revenge.
Yeah.
That's number one?
That's number one.
Okay.
Because at the time is when WCW was really shining, and I have a special place for DDP and being able to run through with him and get that world title. And then with the co-op mode for the tag team, me and my friend John, we would pull all-nighters trying to beat our score for the tag team title thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a lot of joy with that one. And then number two is probably WrestleMania 2000. Because there's an unnecessary amount of time in there, and I still have the cartridge from when I was a kid.
Oh wow.
And when I loaded it up and looked at all the editing that I had done to the rest,
that's terrible.
like each individual one is like, I created an NWO in there, there's a New Blood in there, Jesus, there's all kinds of factions running through there.
That's crazy. What about you, Sean?
I say WCW NWO Revenge, probably my favorite one on the Nintendo 64, followed up by like No Mercy. But I was one of those people that kind of watched back and forth between WCW and WWE. And I was always more of a WWE guy at heart, but there was a part of me that was like really excited about what was going on in WCW, and I was kind of a quiet WCW fanboy for a little bit, and I enjoyed the roster size, because before that, games didn't have rosters, at least games I played, I should say, didn't have rosters that deep. And a lot of guys that I had known from WWE were actually in that game now, because they had kind of, jumped ship. So that game was awesome. I love the aesthetic of it. I love the intro. The simplicity of what you're doing. It's a wonderful game. And then No Mercy, same thing. Great roster, solid gameplay. I hate the freaking music. I prefer the music in WCW NWO Revenge as opposed to
what?
Yeah.
I came back you on that one. I was about to say the only reason No Mercy didn't make my list is because I got one of the day one copies originally. They used to reset every couple times you play it, and
terrible
amount of hatred
that's
that
terrible
went through my soul. Like I have an updated one now, but back then I had the first iteration, and so that's why that one missed my list.
Hey, did you find out if Edge and Christian come out through the crowd in Attitude?
It didn't even show their entrance. It just showed them in the ring already.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
I don't think they came out the crowd.
I think they did.
Might have, but I'm not sure.
Well, they did.
We'll find out somehow.
All right, so
comment down below. They came out from the crowd.
There we go. I would say for me, here's mine, in no particular order. Virtual Pro Wrestling 2, because to me that's like it's No Mercy and Revenge put together, gameplay wise. Rosters, you get American wrestlers. Now it's based with the All Japan Pro Wrestling roster, but they have New Japan, they have FMW, they have a bunch of Pride, MMA, they have Terry Funk, Vader. They have a bunch of wrestlers. You got to change how they look, of course, but they give you the options to be able to do that. Hold on, got a call. Hold on. Oh my goodness. Hold on. See, now I got it. Damn it. So okay. So what I'm about to say. Yeah, Virtual Pro Wrestling 2. Just because it's a great game, and you can use MMA guys, and you can punch wrestlers one time and knock them out. The MMA guys are OP in that game. It's ridiculous. That I want to say No Mercy, just because of the story mode. That was like the apex of Nintendo 64 for wrestling games. Just that story mode itself. That was a great one. And then I would have to. I can't put Revenge on there because that for some reason that game is so difficult for me. I don't know why. I don't know. I could play every other Aki game except Revenge. I don't know why.
I've heard you rage on that one. That was
yeah, I get very angry.
He was angry talking about it. I sent him a message talking about I was gonna make a video on it, and all he said was good luck. And then like 2 days later, he just went into a whole rant.
Listen, it's too much interference. You can't win a match. Like, bruh, like how I get two people interfering in one match? Why?
And both of them was there to kick your ass.
Yeah, like they jumping me. I'm like, damn, whatever. So
you was trying to win the match in under 5 minutes, and they said, "No, we're getting some work out of you today. Earn your money."
True. So I would have to say WCW NWO World Tour. That one. That's the one that those three. Because
I actually didn't play that one until later.
You missed out. Hold on, I'm gonna eat my candy bar.
Oh no.
Yeah, I missed out on that one. It's good. I didn't play it until after Revenge, though, to be honest.
What are you playing these games like out of order?
Because I'm me.
Good enough. We're on with it.
Have we not figured out that I like to do things differently?
You're from Baltimore. It's fine.
I fucking hate you.
Okay, so we jump from PlayStation. Should we go to PlayStation 2? I think PlayStation 2 is next one.